Hello, this is Mr. Doty, and I'm going to do a little intro video for the Word section in the CAD 100 class. Just a little heads up to help you maybe get through this a little easier since you're online, or even if you're in my in-person class, I'll add the video to that one too. Alright, so you're familiar with the class. You go over here, you click on Content Supplement, and under Unit 1, you're going to find that you have a Word option here for one of your parts. We've already done Chapter 1, we've done the Computer Essentials, we've done Chapter 2 in the CAD book, and now we're back into working in the Cengage, which is what you go online and log into, and I'll show you the link here in a sec again. Alright, under assignments, so this is what you're going to be doing for the Word section. You will be working on the Huang letter, envelope, and the player flyer. Those are the assignments for the first part. That's one assignment. You're also going to be working on case problem 1. That was the review assignment. This is case problem 1, which is the Brightly letter and Brightly letter envelope. They may be separate files, like on this one, for example, you're going to have the letter, the directions have you create a new document and put the envelope for the letter on it, so that would be 2 documents or 2 files to add, and then you're going to do the flyer, so that's 3. So this you could have either two if you put the envelope on the letter, which you might figure out how to do easily. Not sure why the directions don't, but that's not a problem. Anyway, so you could have up to 3 files you're going to attach to this assignment. Alright, number 2, you've got Module 1 Case Problem 1, you got the Brightly letter. Well, you're also going to create an envelope, and that will be either 1 or 2 documents or files, depending on what you got. And as far as I know, on Module 1 Case Problem 2, you only have 1 file to attach. Now, a little heads up. If obviously, when you click on this guy, it's going to, well, in my case, it's going to pull it up. In your case, it's probably going to download it, and you're going to get something that looks like this that you're going to start, adjusting. Well, the other thing is this guy right here. If you click on him, like you pick, then it pops up, and you're like, well, what the heck am I supposed to do with that? Well, yeah, I know. It doesn't download it, it opens it. So what you need to do is you right click, save link as, and then stick it in your downloads or stick it under your documents or your OneDrive or wherever you can find it, and then you'll be able to pull it up to insert it into your document and play around with it. Alright, so then on the second part, as far as I know, these are all correct. Module 2 review. This one, it's a little confusing sometimes because you're not sure what you need to turn in. I know there's a commercial lead part that you work on, and I believe there's also either the ancient document or the modern. And I'll double check it, look at the directions, but just be aware that you might be turning in more than one document on this one. The comedy paper should just be one document. You're going in, you're putting in some references, and I'll talk about that a little later too. And then on this last one, you're doing an actual resume. There's 2 documents, and I'm going to go back and look at the directions. Some people just give me the resume, some people give me this nursing document as well. Either way is fine, but I need to double check and see exactly what the instructions say. Because I thought we were just turning in the resume, so no big deal. We'll figure it out. Alright, so that kind of covers what you're doing in the Word option as far as for the assignments. As far as Word goes, when you install it, and hopefully you've got it installed by now, if you don't know how to install it, one of the things you can do is, if you go to My Path Home, you click on your email here, and if you go here and you click on this little button up here, you can click on Office 365. See this button right here? It says Install Office. You click on Install Office and you click on this guy right here, and guess what? You just downloaded Office, or at least an install link with your serial number, and guess what? You can install it on up to, I think, 5 devices, which is awesome. And there you go. So now you know how to get Office if you didn't already know. Alright, so let's go back. We're over here. Oh, we're going back to Word. Alright, so let's just give you a little demo here real quick. Don't mean for this to be a really long video, but just kind of a little brief intro to Word. Some things to remember when you're going through the directions. The way the book is written, each one of these lines is considered a paragraph. So just remember that. Keep that in the back of your brain, because you know, you're going to think that, oh, these two are a paragraph and like this is a whole paragraph. Now, each individual line is considered a paragraph. When they talk about your paragraph marks, that's what this guy is here. If you had a class in high school where they taught you this kind of stuff, then they probably had you turn these goofy things on. To me, they just get in the way. But, I mean, they are, I guess, informative and letting you know what's going on. But anyway, if you notice that each one of those is a paragraph, technically. So there you go. Alright, so basically if you start from here, you got the clipboards, you got fonts, paragraphs, styles, your editing, and proofing options there. If you look up at the top, you've got file, where you can go and save, or you don't have this option. Yours is to export. Basically, this option to save it as a PDF. You got save, open new, save as, print, all kinds of fun stuff. Home, like I said, has all this information here dealing with your fonts and text and paragraph settings. You've got insert, which we'll go over later on. Design, which has your themes. Layout, where you can change your orientation, like if you want it landscape or portrait. You can change your margins, change the size of your paper even, set up columns. Then you've got your paragraph spacing here, which is a little more in depth. You have a button over here on home that gets you the same place. Then we have references. You're going to be doing that in the second part, like your citations, where you do this, and the style you're going to use is probably MLA, like so. Let's see, mailings. This is where you're going to create your envelope. So you'll be going here on the first couple assignments. And then you have the review, where you have to pull in and you have to add comments and show comments and all that kind of good stuff. And that's in the second part of Word. Then you have to go to view here to look at some other things. So you've got like print layout, which is the way I've got it. You've got read mode, which looks really weird. Yeah, by the way, if you get into that, which sometimes they pull up this way when you download them, just click on view, go to edit document, and there you go. Web layout we don't really use. Here, I'll show you what it looks like. Anyway, I like this. This works. The other thing is you may not have your rulers up. So what you need to do is turn on your ruler. This is kind of cool. Turn on grid lines. You got grid paper. Navigation pane is something that'll show up when you're doing searching and finding and replacing, that kind of thing. Otherwise, it doesn't need to be on really. If you want to mess with the zoom, you've got 100%. You've got one page. You've got multiple pages. If it had multiple pages, you'd show up multiple pages if you had big enough room. Page width, if you want it really big. You can also come down here to your zoom, and if you use your mouse button, or you can pick or grab it and drag it, and it'll adjust to what you need. I'm just going to put it on 100% for now. Okay, so basically that's just a kind of intro to um, Word. And the other thing is when you want to mess around with your fonts, you'll notice this says body. Well, if you look over here, you have your style. These are the different styles set up for this document. And you know, you've got headings, you got normal, no spacing, headings, heading 2, title, subtitle. You'll notice my text is changing, right? Because that's where I'm at. So you can change what it looks like depending on the style, and that's one way to keep it, make it easier for you to edit your documents when you have this kind of set up already. Let's see. So obviously you can do things like bold, underline, and italics. If you were to highlight something, then you can edit it. You can make it bigger. You can make it smaller. You could, you know, capitalize each word. You could go in here and just do all uppercase if you wanted to scream at people. You know, stuff like that. You can bold, like, bold, italics. If you really want somebody to pay attention, put all three. There's strike through, which we don't, you know, you can use sometimes if you need to, like when you're editing, or you want to say, hey, we don't use this. Boom. And then on the other thing, you've got your subscripts, postscripts, where you can add those. And then you also have different things here. Now, let me just give you a hint. You're going to be looking for some of this kind of stuff here. So it might say for you to go to and look for, oh, I don't know. You hover over it and it says, hover over it and it says fill white outline accent 1, glow accent 1. Well, that might be where you might find it, because they say go to the outline, or text effects. So that's text effects. This is highlighting, which we're not going to use right now. This is font color. Font color can be done the same way. So you look over here, like hover over it, green accent 6, lighter 60%. And then for fill is over here. So this is your fill, shading, maybe called shading. So you click on there, and then there you go. Boom. And there it is. Alright, so this is just a kind of a little startup trying to help you out, and we'll kind of go from there. If you have questions, obviously, you need to send me some emails, communicate with me, let me know what's going on, and we'll help you get through this. The next part, hold on, sorry, getting off task here. Let's go back over here, and let's go back to Content Supplement and go to Cengage. So click on that link, bring this guy up, right? Alright, so then you go to Word Module 1. You've got creating, editing a document. This is basically the book part. This is the training, which is like the little videos, kind of like what we did up here under the computer basics part. And the assignments are where I showed you. Well, the assignments actually are here. You want to go to the book, right? So you go to the book. So go to the book and go to chapters, creating and editing a document, and we're going to go all the way down here to the bottom. So like if you wanted to actually go through the book and look through all of that information and go through the little tutorials and stuff that are in it, that's great. You can do that. There probably are some files you might need if you wanted to do that. It's fine. I would do the training too, because it's going to be a little more helpful, because I know people are usually better off with videos, and that's fine. But try both. Let me know if you need help, or if you need files or something, and I'll get you fixed up. So anyway, chapter review is where you're going to find your assignment. and basically review assignments, data files needed are flyer and player. They're back on the, they're back over here on the class, right? And then, you just follow the directions. I'm fine for using this date. If you want to put the current date, go for it. And just remember that when it talks about paragraphs, a lot of times it's individual lines. Now in this guy, you're probably going to have, normal paragraphs, what we consider paragraphs, and, it's not a big deal. Now, see, it says type in closure, save the document, scroll the thing in the document, proofread your work, remove paragraph spacing, change top margin. So you just follow the directions. If you find something that doesn't make sense, go back and look in the chapter maybe, or ask me a question, and I will be glad to help you out. I'm trying to think of all of the troubleshooting things that, issues we might have had with this to kind of give you a heads up. So let's see, record player flyer today. Now, did it say, see, it says create a new blank document and then create an envelope. So in this one, the way the directions read, you're going to have the actual letter, you're going to have the actual envelope, and then you're going to have this flyer document. So you're going to turn in 3 things. Like I said, if you figure out how to put the envelope back on your document and you have two, you're fine. You just need to make sure you have everything, okay? That's pretty much it. You just go through, follow directions, and if you're not sure on how things work, that's okay. This help feature, it may not be as intuitive as some people think, but basically you just click on here, and so like working with pictures, and I'm not sure why that came up. It should have pictures. Okay, well, let's try this again. So apparently I'm not following directions, but that's okay. Let me find pictures, and then it says get help on pictures. So let's do that. Alright, and then my help will pop up. Looks something like this. If for some reason it comes up like this, it just means that you've made it bigger somehow, some way. But you'll probably come up with this, and you'll get all this information, and you can kind of do what you need to do. Alright, well, I hope this is helpful, and that's all I've got for right now. Good luck and communicate. Let me know what's going on, and if you need any help with anything. And if I can figure out how I'm going to turn this guy off, I will. Oh, there it is.